This is Rosen Institute's Your Law Firm, where Lee Rosen and Ned Days cover management, marketing, finance, and new technologies for building the practice you deserve. Rosen Institute members received this episode early, as well as exclusive segments on optimizing your payroll, your employee compensation, incentives, and benefits to maximize growth and stability in your law firm, an answer to a member question about how to help your team be more productive, as well as this week's episodes on Vision Quest, your chance to reset, to refocus, and to finally build the practice and the life that you actually want. Get access to everything you're missing at roseninstitute.com/join. Here's Lee Rosen.
It's good to be with you today from Stornoway, Scotland, on the Isle of Lewis in the Hebrides. The coastline here is all dramatic cliffs and beautiful beaches, but what really draws the crowd are the standing stones. And when I say standing stones, I mean exactly that. Big rocks planted upright in the ground like enormous surfboards waiting for a wave. I'm basically an expert on standing stones now. I've looked at lots of them, and the best part of looking at standing stones is not the stones. No, it's the people who come to interact with the stones. Some of them lean back against the stones as if they are recharging their batteries, while other folks will stand with an arm outstretched, hand pressed to the rock, channeling energy from the universe. It's all a little bit 1960s love in, but honestly, compared to the tourist behavior that I've seen elsewhere, it feels downright wholesome. If you want to love on a rock, well then I'm all for it.
It's time for your tech tip. Do you know what I love? Digging into other people's business. I'm nosy, I'll admit it. I listen in on other people's conversations when I'm out in public. I could spin you a yarn about how it's because I'm a budding anthropologist and I'm just so fascinated by people's lives and the human condition, but the fact of the matter is that I just like to make fun of them and pat myself on the back for being so sane and normal, because eavesdropping on conversations about family trouble between people wearing sweatpants and Crocs in Chipotle to feel better about myself is what sane and normal people do. But these days, you don't even have to leave the house to dig up dirt on people. You can do it from the comfort of your own device. And what's better is you can pick who you want information about. You aren't simply limited to who showed up at Home Depot the same time you did. Now, while I look up information because I probably have some kind of personality defect, you may have more legitimate reasons. Sometimes it makes sense to do a little digging on clients, opposing parties, opposing counsel, referral sources, you name it. Sherlock Eye, which you can find at sherlockeye.io, is a tool that lets you investigate a person or company in a matter of seconds. You provide whatever information you have, legal name, username, email, and Sherlock Eye goes to work scouring the web for any and all traces of someone's digital footprint. It does this by searching for accounts, information, resources based on email, phone numbers, and usernames across hundreds of different services, sources, and databases. It uses AI to help make sense of what it digs up, so instead of a bunch of random data, it cross-references findings, highlights possible connections, it will summarize profiles, and deliver the most important details automatically. You get all kinds of charts and visualizers so you can feel like a real secret agent hacking the mainframe instead of just staring at a spreadsheet. One of these is a timeline tool. This lets you visualize the person or company's online evolution. It gives you a better overall picture of the time frame and order in which things happened and progressed. If you want to get extra creepy, there is a geolocation feature too. This basically scours metadata to create a location map of where various services were being used and when. All very cool, but also a little concerning. That's a lot of data to have sitting around somewhere. Thankfully, Sherlock Eye takes data security a lot more seriously than I probably would. Inside of your account, all searches and results are end-to-end encrypted, and after 30 days, it is all deleted. No ifs, ands, or buts. You can extract or download information while you're researching, but it's not sitting inside of your dashboard endlessly to be stumbled upon by somebody else who happens to get your password. You get 3 free searches per month, although they are fairly limited in terms of what you can see, but paid plans start at $14 for 60 searches per month. If you are looking for something that is a little bit less secret agent, a little bit more spammy, but no less useful, SocLeads, available at SocLeads.com, lets you scrape email addresses from map listings and social media profiles. You can enter in keywords to grab email addresses from associated Google Maps listings. You can use it to scrape Twitter followers or Twitter keywords, LinkedIn keywords, Instagram keywords. You can search some services by location too. If you're thinking this sounds like a tool built specifically to spam people, you would be right. That is exactly what it's for. But I'm not going to say there isn't some utility in that even for us. Being able to search a list of potential professional referral sources by looking up accountants or mental health professionals in your area who are active on social media isn't the worst strategy. If you don't want to use the emails directly, you can use them as lookalike audiences for things like Facebook ads. There's a free trial for 100 contacts per month and paid plans starting at $60 for 10,000 contacts per month. Probably a lot more than you need unless you really are just trying to sell some kind of superfood greens powder or male enhancement pills. Now, if you aren't so much interested in tracking down your high school girlfriend's Uber Eats account or spamming every rich dentist in the metro area about writing a will, but fleshing out information you may already have about clients, potential clients, and referral sources, there are services that help with that too. A popular option for many years was Clearbit. This was a tool that would connect with a lot of different CRMs and let you enrich, as they say in industry parlance, your contacts. Maybe you just had a name and a phone number. Clearbit could help you find potential matches for email addresses, social media profiles, business associations, and more. HubSpot eventually bought it out and rolled it into their product while shutting down other integrations, but there's a new player called Crustdata.com. You know, I have had to think up names for a handful of products in my career, and Crustdata may be the least appealing name I have come across, but leaving that aside, it does what I just described. Now, the tricky bit here is that you have to build your own integrations. Crustdata, I am going to avoid saying that again if I can, provides API and webhook access, so it's pretty easy to incorporate with any workflow automation tool like Zapier, or even most built-in workflow builders in CRMs and practice management systems, but it's not exactly a plug-and-play solution. They do, however, offer a very old-school feature that requires no integration. You provide them a CSV file, and every month they refresh the contacts inside with the latest information they have. Not exactly real-time enrichment, but it may come in handy for some practices. Pricing is based on a credit system, so it's a little tricky to pin down, but if you are bothering to build out custom workflows and tools, it's likely not going to be a stretch. I'm Ned Days, and that's your tech tip.
And now for your moment of concise advice. We all have these moments just before we start. Think back about them, whether it was in high school or college, maybe at a public speaking competition. Maybe you were in the production of a show, the drama production. Maybe it was that moment just before you started, or maybe you participated in a competitive sport, whatever sport it might have been. Just before you start, think back to that moment. Maybe it's more recent. Maybe it was in law school at the mock trial competition, or maybe you were doing a appellate argument in law school just before you start. It could even be just in the past little bit here at the courthouse, or the board meeting that you were speaking at, or maybe the zoning committee that you had to present before. Just before you start, there is that moment right before the gun goes off at the starting line. In that moment, your heart is pounding, your mouth is dry, and you're second-guessing everything, your training, your strategy. You're very right to be standing there at that starting line. And you look to your left and you look to your right, and everybody else, they just look calm, but your heart is racing and you feel like the only fraud in the whole race. But here's the truth, that those other people, the people to your left, the people to your right, the people that have gone before, the people that will go after, they won't tell you this truth. And the truth is that everyone is scared. Everyone. And by everyone, I mean everyone. The old guy who has done it a million times, the cocky loudmouth who always has that big grin, the totally prepared nerd who cites every fact and every figure, and the exceedingly relaxed, impeccably well-dressed uber professional who has every hair in place. Everyone. And I mean everyone. And those are the folks who are standing up, willing to take a chance and present. The folks who wrangled a place on the agenda All of them, everyone, they all feel it. The difference isn't who feels fear, because everyone feels it. The difference is who moves anyway. The winners, they aren't calmer. They're just faster at punching through the fear. They don't wait for the perfect plan. They don't wait to feel ready. They don't wait for the fear to go away, because it won't. They move with the fear sitting on their chest, shouting in their ears, clawing at their ribs. They move anyway. And business is the same. Growth of the business, it is the same. Success in the business, it is the same. You will never feel fully ready. You will never feel fully certain. You will be scared, and you have to move anyway. The ones who wait for the fear to disappear, they are still standing at the starting line 10 years later, wondering why the world passed them by. So stop waiting. Feel the fear. Move anyway. That is your moment of concise advice. Wrapping up from Stornoway, thanks for spending a few minutes with me and Ned today. We hope you have a great weekend and an even better week next week. Keep plugging away, moving forward, and getting things done. You're on the right track. You'll get there, I promise. We're all in this together, and together we build better practices through better marketing, better management, and better technology. Until next time, I'm Lee Rosen.
Thanks for listening to Your Law Firm. Subscribe to the Friday File at roseninstitute.com and join thousands of lawyers focused on working on, instead of in, their practices. You'll find safe, successful, actionable approaches for transforming your firm. Sign up for free at roseninstitute.com.